Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel tired all the time, yet you cannot figure out why? Maybe you tell yourself it is just stress from work, or you are just overthinking. But deep down, something feels wrong. You used to laugh more, dream more, feel more alive. Now it is like a weight sits on your chest every day. The truth is, not all relationships are healthy, and not all love is good for you. Sometimes what you think is love is actually a slow poison draining you piece by piece. Toxic relationships do not always start toxic. They often begin with charm, excitement, and promises, but over time, you notice the shift. Your joy fades, your confidence shrinks. You start to doubt yourself more than you trust yourself. For women, this can be especially hard to see. We are often taught to give more, to be patient, to compromise endlessly in the name of love. We are told that sacrifice is noble, and that putting someone else first means we are good partners. But here is the truth. If love is making you feel smaller instead of stronger, it is not love worth keeping. The most dangerous part of a toxic relationship is how quietly it changes you. You might not notice it happening. You stop doing things you love. You change how you dress, how you speak, even how you think, just to avoid conflict. You begin to measure your every move by how he might react. And little by little, you lose yourself. A healthy relationship should feel like a safe space, not a battlefield. You should be able to breathe, to grow, to be yourself fully. Love should lift you higher, not weigh you down. If you have ever wondered whether you are in a toxic relationship, there are 3 powerful questions that can reveal the truth. And by the end of this video, you will know if it is time to protect your heart and reclaim your happiness. #1. Do you feel happy or exhausted with him? Love should be a source of joy, not a constant drain on your energy. When you are in a healthy relationship, even during hard times, you still feel a sense of safety and connection. You still look forward to seeing him, to sharing your thoughts, to simply being in his presence. But in a toxic relationship, the opposite happens. You begin to feel more tired than happy. You might notice that before seeing him, your body already feels tense. You catch yourself preparing for what to say and what not to say. You play out conversations in your head, hoping to avoid an argument. Even when nothing bad happens, you still leave feeling emotionally drained, like you have been carrying a heavy backpack all day. At first, you might explain it away. Maybe you think, we are just going through a rough patch, or it's normal to have ups and downs. And yes, every relationship has challenges. But here is the difference. In a healthy relationship, even in the middle of challenges, you still feel loved, supported, and respected. In a toxic one, the challenges feel one-sided. You are the one doing most of the emotional labor, while he is not meeting you halfway. Think about how you feel on most days. Do you wake up excited to connect with him, or do you wake up already feeling the weight of another day with him? Do you smile more often than you cry? Do you feel energized after spending time together, or do you feel like you need to recharge alone just to get your peace back? One of the clearest signs of a toxic relationship is when the stress and sadness outweigh the joy. If you are constantly walking on eggshells, apologizing for things that are not even your fault, or trying to keep the peace at the expense of your own needs, you are not in love, you are in survival mode. And survival mode is not where love can grow. It will drain you, day by day, until you hardly recognize the woman you used to be. If you realize you are more exhausted than happy in your relationship, it is not a sign that you need to work harder to fix it. It is a sign you need to step back and see the truth. Because real love will never require you to sacrifice your mental health just to keep it alive. Real love will feel like home, not like a battlefield. #2. Are you still yourself when you are with him? A healthy relationship should make you feel more like yourself, not less. When you are with the right person, you feel free to speak your mind, laugh without holding back, and show your quirks without fear of judgment. You do not have to constantly monitor how you act, what you say, or whether you are too much or not enough. But in a toxic relationship, you slowly start to change in ways you never intended. You notice that you laugh less. You hide your opinions because you are afraid he will criticize or dismiss them. You stop wearing certain clothes because he makes comments about how you look. You even silence your achievements because you worry he might feel insecure or jealous. It does not happen overnight. At first, you tell yourself you're just compromising or keeping the peace. But over time, the compromises pile up. And one day, you realize you do not even recognize the woman in the mirror. You have traded your vibrant, confident self for a smaller, quieter version, hoping that if you shrink enough, the relationship will work. Here is the truth. Real love does not require you to become someone else. The right man will never make you feel like you have to hide your light to keep him comfortable. He will want you to shine. He will encourage your passions, respect your opinions, and love you for exactly who you are. Ask yourself, when you are with him, do you feel more alive or more restrained? Do you feel safe to be vulnerable, or do you feel like you are performing a role just to keep him happy? When you lose yourself in a relationship, you lose the very thing that made you attractive and magnetic in the first place, your authenticity. And without authenticity, love becomes conditional. It becomes about who you can pretend to be, rather than who you truly are. You deserve a love where you can be unfiltered, unapologetic, and fully yourself. A love where you do not have to tiptoe around someone's ego, but can stand tall as the woman you were meant to be. Because the truth is, if being yourself scares him away, he was never the right one to stay. #3. Do you feel loved or controlled? Love and control can look dangerously similar in the beginning. He might say he just cares about you, which is why he wants to know where you are, who you are with, and what you are doing. At first, it feels flattering. You think, wow, he's so invested in me. But over time, that care starts to feel like surveillance. Every time your phone buzzes, you feel pressure to respond immediately. You hesitate before making plans with friends because you know he will question you. You start changing how you dress, how you speak, even who you talk to, because you want to avoid another argument. Real love is built on trust, not control. A man who loves you respects your freedom. He knows that your world does not have to revolve solely around him for your love to be real. He gives you space to breathe, to grow, and to maintain your own life outside of the relationship. Control, on the other hand, is about fear. Fear of losing you, fear of not being enough, fear of you realizing your own worth. And instead of working on those insecurities, a controlling partner tries to box you in, making the cage feel like safety. The worst part? When you are in it, you might not even see the cage. You might tell yourself, he just loves me a lot, or this is what a serious relationship looks like. But deep down, you feel it. The heaviness, the anxiety, the constant need to check if you are doing something wrong. Ask yourself, does he make you feel safe to live your life freely, or does he make you feel guilty for having a life outside of him? Do you feel more cherished when you are with him, or more confined? A healthy love celebrates your independence. It trusts you when you are not in the same room. It does not need to monitor your every step because it is secure in the bond you share. You deserve a relationship where love lifts you up instead of holding you down. Where you can walk side by side, not locked behind invisible bars. Where your heart beats with joy, not with fear of the next interrogation. Because here's the truth, love that tries to cage you is not love. It is control disguised as care. And no matter how sweet the disguise, it will eventually suffocate you. At the end of the day, love should never drain you, erase you, or trap you. It should be a place where you can rest, where you feel seen, valued, and free to be your truest self. If you have to constantly walk on eggshells, silence parts of who you are, or live under someone's constant watch, that is not the love you deserve. The healthiest relationships are not built on fear, control, or sacrifice that leaves you empty. They are built on mutual trust, respect, and the joy of seeing each other grow. The right man will not just accept your independence, he will admire it. He will not only love who you are with him, but also who you are when you are out in the world, chasing your dreams. So take a moment and answer honestly. Did any of these 3 questions make you think about your own relationship? Did you feel a quiet yes in your chest? If you did, it might be time to step back and ask yourself what you truly want and deserve. You are not meant to be loved in a way that makes you smaller. You are meant to be loved in a way that expands your life, your confidence, and your happiness. Love should be a choice you make joyfully every day, not a cage you are afraid to leave. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship? What was the moment you realized it was time to walk away? Share your story in the comments. You never know who your courage might inspire. And if you want to learn how to build a relationship that feels safe, empowering, and full of genuine love, follow Aurarise. Here, we talk about love in a way that protects your heart, your identity, and your future. Because you deserve nothing less than a love that feels like freedom.